Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by to the game table. What I wanted to do today was take a moment and show you something fun that I found. I actually think these are really cool. I want to get into naval miniature wargaming. I've been doing land wargaming for a really long time, and I thought, why don't I try out some naval stuff. Had a friend, he had some really nice miniatures, and we played a rule set called Micronauts by GMT Games, and I was like, well, this is fun. I kind of like the idea of different charts and things, gunnery ranges, penetration values of it's just, battleships. It's pretty cool. But the miniatures are expensive. He got some models from something called Shapeway where you can search. And if people, that's the thing, is if people have made the ships you want in the scale you're looking for, no problem. You can get different sizes, and prices can range from $6 to $12 or so. It's not the worst price thing, but they aren't cheap. Now, you can also get like metal miniatures from, say, like GHQ. I found a lot of people, CNC miniatures, and a couple other places also make ships in various scales, but the metal miniatures are pretty expensive. A few years ago, Axis and Allies, Hasbro put out the naval version of Axis and Allies, where it was like War at Sea, I think is what it's called, and that was in a scale 1/1800, and they were this size here, and I'll explain what these are here in just a second. And those are very expensive to find, and again, if they have the model you're looking for. So that's how it is with a lot of games. Now, if it's an established company like GHQ Games, they probably have a ship you're looking for, but again, the price starts to add up. Some of their models, being in a scale that's 1 to 2400, is a slightly smaller scale than what we have here, but they're like $20 for one battleship, for example. So depending on where you purchase things, the price for this can get kind of pricey. I guess the idea that I've read a lot of places is it's not so much that you buy a whole bunch to play the game. A lot of times it's because you're trying to maybe do a specific scenario or a specific battle, so you buy just the ships for that. So naval gaming isn't always necessarily a pick-up type game where you say, hey, you get a few hundred points, you get a few hundred points, let's battle, like maybe you would Flames of War in a land variant. But then I found these. Now, not saying nobody has heard of these. I've heard of these a long time ago. I just never took the plunge to get them, but I finally did. So what are they? This is a company called Topside Minis. So these are not miniatures, but the top side, I guess because you're looking down on them, and the miniature because, well, they substitute miniatures. And what they are is a company that prints out a really nice picture of a ship onto a wooden base. Now what you get is a ship, or like a page of stickers, and you got to cut out each ship and then apply it to the wood base that comes with it, and then you can trim this down to the wood base to get a nice fit. And the detail on these are fantastic. So you yourself, I don't know if you've looked into naval gaming and maybe the price of miniatures has set you back a little bit. It's almost like if you were doing, say, Star Wars X-Wing, you buy just the few that you need to make a fleet. It's very hard, or if you collect over many, many, many years, you could probably get up a nice fleet to do your naval wargaming, because miniatures look great. And my friend who had a few, he specifically had enough miniatures to do the Battle of the River Plate. And he has some other ones, but it takes time if you want to do large surface engagements. So what's the advantage of these? Well, this Graf Spey is like $1.50, $1.50, versus the equivalent $16, $17 for a smaller scale metal miniature. I can get a lot of these for the same price as one metal miniature. Now, why would I do that? Well, the thing is, I haven't found a set of Navy rules that I'm just totally like, yes, this is what I want. I've tinkered now in a few. I've tinkered with the Micronauts by GHQ. I bought Naval Thunder, Battleship Row, and I got the expansion. I specifically got the expansion because the expansion had the German and the British ships. And what I wanted to do is, since I played the Battle of the River Plate with my friend using the Micronaut rules, I wanted to try some other rules. So doing the same battle. And what's interesting, if you're looking to get into naval wargaming, if you get just a few ships, most naval wargame rules I've flipped through so far have the Battle of the River Plate as kind of like a starter. So that includes specifically the Admiral Graf Spee, which is German, and then it has the Ajax, the Achilles, which are light cruisers for the British, and then the Exeter, which is a heavy cruiser for the British. And those 4 ships will let you test out a lot of rules for a lot of game systems. That's great. As a matter of fact, with Topside Minis, you could purchase these all individually, but they actually have a starter kit, Battle for the River Plate, which is these 4 ships, and this was like $6.95, so $7 gets you 4 ships, gets you their stickers, gets you their wood already cut, so you just have to match up the sticker to the wood block, and boom, you can now go play different rule sets. I have tried like the Jumpstart rules for Command at Sea. Command at Sea is also Larry Bond, part of his Admiralty trilogy. They have like Harpoon, maybe if you're familiar with that. Harpoon was like a lot like a complex modern day warfare system. He also has a World War I, and then he's got World War II. I kind of like the Command at Sea. That seems like it's got a lot of crunch to it. It's just very expensive to get into as far as the books, because you have to buy the book, which is the main rules, and then the ship annexes, which are separate, and they're like about $15 each. So just to get into the gaming, that's like $45 just to find the ship data you need. And I don't know if I want to make that plunge yet, because I'm trying General Quarters. That's what my friend is going to play. He's going to play like General Quarters 3. So I have access to that, and so I'm going to try that rule set. Also, if you're interested in just free, there is a website called Nav War, like Naval War. If you look that up, it's a free set of rules, but it has a lot of ship data and whatnot. It didn't look bad at all. It looked pretty good. Then there was another one that's actually just come out, well, maybe a couple months ago, but it's in beta testing. It's Victory at Sea by Mongoose Publishing. Now, Mongoose Publishing has previously put out some books under that title, some rules, Victory at Sea, but now they appear to be making updated rule versions of that. So again, if you just want to try out some naval wargaming, those are a couple free resources. And then, you know, if you look around, find something cheap. Usually if I go to Wargame Vault, 10-15 bucks gets you a rule set. Usually includes some ship data cards and whatnot to play with. You know, so that's a good place to start. Well, here, for example, with my friend, we're going to try out General Quarters 3. It looks a little complicated, but it has like these firing charts here, and you know, some data by nation. So just to play the River Plate, I'm going to have to do a little bit of homework. Here are some of the ship forms. For specifically General Quarter 3, it's a little simple. There's the ship, has a little bit of a layout where the gun turrets are. Whereas like the battle, to try that same one with the Naval Thunder, you actually get a really cool printout where the ships take up a large section that has like all the gun data listed out. It's just a different way of presenting the same information. I kind of like the way Naval Thunder does it, but Naval Thunder has some rules that are kind of lacking that I've seen in some other games they have. So again, it's just kind of looking for a balanced set of rules. It's even hard to say what it means by balance. There were some things that I played that I really enjoyed with the Micronauts, but I don't specifically want Micronauts. So I'm just trying out different game systems till I find one I like. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you, was if you're interested in getting into naval gaming, there are different rule sets out there that you can look into. And as you're experimenting with rules and you don't want to invest all that money into ships, you can pick up some from Topside Minis, which, no, they're not miniatures, but they can get you started. I also picked up a Pacific Battle set, which had like a couple like 2 carriers, a couple battleships, some aircraft. I have here just the aircraft. So like here are the zeros. So if your naval game has some aircraft, they've got you covered here. Not necessarily to scale, but again, just markers to let you know maybe where your aircraft are. So they've got quite a bit on their website. And that's mostly what I wanted to share with you was the Topside Minis. Now, they didn't send me anything, so this isn't like a paid plug or anything like that from Topside Minis. I got these because they look really good. Now, as far as, and I'll leave with this, the paper that they use, the sticker they use, it says on the website it's like tear resistant and like spill resistant, water resistant, so not proof in any way. And so I was kind of playing around trying to tear the paper, and I will say this, you can tear it if you just take it and take the paper and just kind of give it a nice, okay, maybe not. I did this the other day. I was like, oh, let's see how this tears, and it like tore, and I was like, well, that's disappointing, and now I can't get this one to tear. But yeah, if you hit that paper just right. Let me try another one a little smaller. There we go. But again, you've got to put some effort into it. So they actually will, I truly believe, they will hold up to just handling and being played around on the table. You're not going to easily tear or rip the paper. I haven't been brave enough to try the waterproof or how spill resistant they are yet, but I usually don't keep a whole lot of water and things like that near my game table. So if you're worried about wear and tear, I think these will hold up quite nicely. Even the corners I think will hold up because of that tear resistant. So again, if you're interested, what you can do, and this is the very last thing I'll share. If you go to Topside Mini website, you can actually order a free sample, and they'll send you like one ship. Probably nothing fancy like a battleship or a carrier, but they might send you a destroyer or something like that with a wood block, probably something around the size of the airplane, maybe a little bit bigger, just so you can for yourself see what the quality is like. So you might as well get the free one, nothing to lose there. And then if you like it, get one of the basic sets they have. They also have some free naval game there as well, so if you do get like one of the starter sets, Battle for the River Plate, or one of the other many different sets they have, you can at least start some gaming right there. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great evening.